really excited to be here. Actually, I've been waiting a while. Well, just a day to live stream. So anyways, I'm back and I've got some news. Um, oh man. So for you guys, I have some exciting news. I've been doing a lot of RC content on my channel recently, and I bought a new RC cart. You guys are gonna hear about it when I get it more. But I've also got a few other things coming, so I'm excited for that. But that being said, I'm gonna get into today's live stream. I actually wanted to talk about being observant in today's stream. Being observant is very, very key in what you do. Now, I understand that some people are more likely to be observant than others, and kind of, I guess, focus on key pieces of being observant. But I kind of just want to talk about it and make sure that um, you guys know. Anyways, it's very important. Just wanted to cover this whole subject today. So let's get right into it. And if you would like, taking some notes would be great. I always take notes for my live streams too. So if you guys would like to take some notes, that would be absolutely just amazing. Really mean a lot to me. All right, so let's get into it here. So I guess the first piece of being observant, I'm gonna start with being observant at work. Okay, there's a lot of things you can just observe by I guess just by looking at people. It's all you have to do is look at someone and say, okay, now I understand. And that's what I started doing is, well, I can kind of look at someone and be like, okay, now I understand their attitude. I understand their their whole mindset. Some people are literally just here in the bar to get attention. Some people are here in the bar just to have a good time. You can kind of just tell with those kind of people. Um, what's funny is a lot of times when I walk into my job and there's someone new in the restaurant that I haven't seen yet, you can kind of just look at a person and look and say, is this person actually someone that's like super easy to joke with? I can just kind of tell when you have someone that you're I guess we had a few people, like four people that just came in. They weren't locals. They were just I guess they were just traveling over for a while. And so as soon as I saw all these guys, I was like, yep, these guys are the ones that are gonna want to laugh and joke. And anyways, so when I walked into the bar, now I only walk into the bar to do my job. Let me be clear, only to grab dishes out of there. So anyways, I'm doing all of this, walking into there, and hello, welcome to the stream. Um, I'm doing all this, and I'm just joking with these guys, man. Like, just immediately start joking with them. My day is going amazing today. I have no complaints. I slept great. I'm alive. I'm breathing, making money. What can I complain about, right? Just focusing on the day and focusing on God. So that's all I can say. Yeah, so okay. All right. Anyways, yeah, so you can kind of tell just kind of based on what people do. I try to have as most energy as I possibly can when I'm at work. And the reason being is people are way more likely to look at you and talk to you and say, "Man, how are you doing today?" And "Oh my goodness, that's great." And say something to you if you actually put on a smile when you walk around. It's like start actually doing something then. I mean, yes, you can subscribe to me. That's all. It's cool with me, man. I'm not gonna complain in the end. So yeah, it would be. It's one of those things that you learn from people's behavior. Is this person? Do they want to be here? Are they really happy to be here? And so the other night when I was walking around doing my job, I was grabbing some dishes and I was running back to the kitchen, and I looked, and as I was turning my head, I saw these two dishes. And my first instinct was, how can I make a joke? Because there's two guys sitting right here. It's like there's two guys. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. There's two guys sitting right here, and I've got a few dishes, and so I grabbed my dishes, and as soon as I grabbed them, I said, Man, I've got good eyes. It was always something to kind of show them that my personality, like I really want to be. I want to talk to you guys. I want to be outgoing. Like, how can I help you? If you're just talking to them and you're being engaging with them, they're obviously gonna want to talk to you back. So, anyways, and I was like, man, how are you guys today? Right? Just like, hey, how are you? And they were all like, oh, we're doing great, man. Um, in the end, there was a few days ago, I actually met a another restaurant owner. He came to the bar, and here's the thing about being observant that's really really important is because you start to observe other people's behaviors. And so when I saw this guy, my mind nothing was it wasn't to impress this guy, his boss. I mean, this owner of a restaurant, right? I wasn't trying to impress him. All I did was sat down, made a few jokes, talked to him about what I actually believe and all the work ethic I believe, what I've learned. And he was just so happy to hear everything I've learned. And here's what he actually did. He told me, we'll be hiring soon. If you want to come in, come on in. We'll probably hire you. That was a crazy thing to hear. Like, I had just had a 15-minute conversation with him, and he was already trying to hire me, right? Like, that's a crazy thing. But you can really just understand people's behavior based off of I guess, the positivity they give out. When I walk into my job, and I can see people, laughing and smiling, sitting at a table, just laughing, having fun, I'm going to be way more likely to go and joke with them instead of just people are kind of like angry. Especially this is what our customers are seeing, right? If our customers are seeing the employees or all these people that are working at the restaurant, they're just walking around with an earbud in their ear, right? They have one side of their ear blocked, and they're just focused on their job. They don't look at any of the tables. They don't talk to people. They just only focus on their job. That's a problem, because that's the kind of work ethic they're looking at you. They're looking at you as you're having a bad work ethic if you do that. You're not thinking, okay, he's gonna hear me. He's gonna come and ask me if I need anything. When I walk around, I always walk right through and I look at every table. Okay, there's the row of tables on this side. There's a row of tables on the back side. As I'm walking through, I always look at all the tables. How much are they almost done with this plate? Where are they with this? Now that's not even my job. That's not even my job, to be honest. My job isn't to wait tables. I'm the dishwasher and the cook, guys. But it's still so important to be. You want to show customers you care. You want to show customers you're actually looking around and all this stuff. So this is the first part of being observant, is you want to observe as much as you possibly can, especially when you first start your job. There's always things you can make your life easier by doing certain things. And there's always something as soon as I if I let me kind of give you an example. Okay? When I do dishes at my job, I grab the bucket and everything you do makes your life. If you do one simple thing, one very, very simple thing, it makes your life a whole lot easier. So anyways, I grab the bucket, I put it over here. Just the way you wash the dishes with the little scrubber, it really makes a difference. It's kind of weird, but it does. I don't really know what this has to do with being observant, but anyways. So I found little things to do to improve my job that actually made it a whole lot easier. And it made it easier for other people as well. So when I actually went in to train somebody, I actually trained somebody to start doing my job. Well, I'm still doing my job, but only for Sundays. I don't work on Sundays, so I actually had to train someone else to come in and do it. And I trained them exactly how my boss taught me. And I also trained them exactly how I would want them to work. If I wanted them to work a certain way, I would train them that way. If I wanted to know I can come into work today and he's going to be there working really hard, getting everything done, working fast, not breaking dishes, then that's the exact way I would train him to be that way. And it's very, very important to do that. So, as much as you can observe on your own, the easier it is for other people to observe things as well. And I say that because if I'm training this person and I've observed all this, And I've seen all of this. I understand all these simple tasks. And this person doesn't know this yet. When I'm training them, I can show them every single thing that I've observed. You can really observe people's behavior. There was one time I walked into, I was already getting off work, okay, and I went to my boss and said, "Hey, I'm done. I'm getting ready to clock off." He said, "All right." Before I was able to clock off, there was this one guy in the bar. He actually, now this is one thing. I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm gonna tell a story and then I'll talk about it afterwards. This one guy in the bar, he was sitting there right in the chair, and he looked at me, and as I was walking by, he said, "Are you scared?" This is something I haven't had someone tell me before, And I said, "No, I'm not scared. Do I look scared to you?" It's kind of like very like, it's like, "Shut up." Kind of like, "Don't tell me that I look scared. Like, I'm working here. You're sitting here having a drink, and you're telling me I look scared because I'm walking around. Like, what are you talking about?" And this guy was like, "Oh, you look so stupid in your little stupid chef's coat." This to me made absolutely no sense. Why in the world would he be like telling me I look scared because of my chef's coat? Like, what? And so I was kind of like looked at him and I was like, just off of what I saw, I was like, "Yep, he's trying to start a fight." I am not going to start a fight right now. I'm just getting off work. The best thing to do in this situation is actually to get out of the fight. He came up to me. He started it. I could have definitely ended it, but I didn't want to. Here's the thing is he came to me and as he said this, "Oh, are you scared?" I said, "No, I'm not scared." "Do I look scared to you?" And he say, "Oh yeah, you look scared with that chef's coat, the black chef's coat, right?" And he grabbed my chef's coat like this. Like, I'm not joking, this is a true story. And in order to actually get out of that, when he grabbed my chef's coat, in my mind, there's a line in front of me. If you cross that line, I'm not going to go easy on you. And that was something that I was like, "No." And so he grabbed my chef's coat like this, and I just smacked his hand as hard as I could, like, "Get off me." And the next thing in my mind was just get out of this situation. Though I could have ended the situation very fast, said something very loud, "Get out of the bar," someone yelled at him. The best thing to do was actually to go walk away and go talk to my boss. That's exactly what I did. As I got out of the situation, there was two people right in front of me. So as I was walking away, someone he actually tried to grab the back of my chef's coat as well to pull me back. And I ended up escaping and getting away from him as he was trying to do that. But that was one experience in my life that if I had observed kind of his behavior, looked at him, "Yep, he's going to try to start a fight. I'm going to walk away from him." And the thing is, honestly, I already was. Let's see. Um, these live chats are crazy, bro. Uh, so yeah, this is I did observe his behavior before, and this is one of the things is he was always trying to start a fight, and that is the most immature thing you can possibly do. He came up to me and started asking me. This is one thing. This is how you really know they're trying to start a fight. He's gonna say, "Oh, are you scared?" I knew he was trying to start a fight, so my mind is like, say something back, let him know I'm done. I'm not playing this game. Don't act that way with me, and then get out of the situation. After that night, he was 86 from the bar. He's never allowed to come back. So there's other ways to win a fight than than using your fists. I didn't use my fists to win the fight. I used my brain right here. If I decide to fight him, I might even end up losing my job or something, right? People aren't focusing on why you're fighting, they're just focusing on, "Okay, break up the fight." Now, I didn't want to be that person. So, when you can observe people's behavior, you can stop things like that. Um, hmm, okay. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, this was kind of a funny story that happened to me at work, and I've observed a lot of people coming in at work and kind of seeing, okay, this person has good work ethic. This person's um, you can kind of tell when they come in, are they going to want to pay afterwards, or do they like, right? You never know if they're going to buy a couple drinks and not pay any money for it in the end. So it's kind of a crazy thing. I've observed a lot about my job, and it's very important to keep observing things. Um, yeah, so time being, I think I kind of covered this a little bit. I could probably cover a little more. As I think about it, I will keep talking about it. But it's really pretty interesting to start talking about being observant because every new piece you observe is something new you can learn. I think that's actually pretty good right there. Is every new piece you observe is something new you can learn. I take the chance to learn things. And that's the biggest piece for me is I want to learn as much as I possibly can in one day. If I can learn something new right now, if I'm live streaming and I can say, okay, say I've got a lot of likes on this live stream, I've got a lot of subscribers from this live stream. Alright, what did I do in this live stream that was so amazing? Let me go back and figure it out. I'm going to learn from that. When something really good happens in my life, I'm going to learn from it. When something bad happens in my life, I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to take every opportunity I can to learn from it. And also to teach other people what they can do differently. So, on a scale, out of all I've talked about, out of all of the work ethic, I feel like being observant is probably at like 5 on the scale. So it's very important, but it's not that important, right? There's certain pieces that are, but on the work ethic scale, I wouldn't say it's as important. In real life, I'd say it's very important. There's a lot of things you can understand about a person just by looking at their um okay. Um yeah, so it's really interesting that the more you observe about people, and I try to observe as much as I can, kind of understand people as much as I can. This person's, this person's having a bad day. Let me try to cheer them up a little bit, right? You want to go and make a few jokes, but you don't want to like, obviously you don't want to make jokes that'll offend them. There's so many different key pieces to this whole thing, and when you, uh, okay, uh, yeah, so I always try to observe as much as I can in my work environment, my workplace, and even in real life. Real life is where it matters most. It's just being observant. There's so many people that are having a bad day that all you have to do is all you have to do is just go and talk to that person. For instance, for me, every probably about every week, I go to turn in my paycheck at the bank, right? And instead of going in or through the drive-through, I always go inside the bank. And here's the reason why is because in a small town, there's always people that know you that want to talk to you. So I walk in and there's like probably everyone that works there really really likes my attitude. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm only saying this because it's just kind of the attitude you give off. If you give off the kind of attitude that a lot of energy and also always trying to stay positive, people really care about that kind of energy. I They really have. I told one of them, I said, I come in here so often, I might as well start working here. And they were like, I don't think any of us would be opposed to that. They were like, but I've been so friendly with these people, right? Even just the people in the bank, right? People at the front, super super nice. And whenever I walk in, they always say, man, you really turn my attitude around. Like if they have a bad day going in and then I walk in, it turns their attitude around. And it's nothing that I say necessarily. It's just the kind of attitude I give off. Um okay. Yeah, so it's just kind of that kind of thing that you want to focus on. Anyways, that being said, I'm gonna kind of end this topic for a little bit. I think I've kind of covered it pretty well, and I actually want to go over to actually talk about RC cars real quick, because that is my main shorts. That's what I do for my shorts. So, um, yeah, I just bought a new RC car. I'm gonna be unboxing it here soon. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is, but it's pretty cool. So, yeah, and actually, I'm pretty excited. I bought a few accessories for it too. We'll see. You guys will You'll be pretty surprised when it comes. So I'm gonna make a video unboxing as well. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is because I kind of ruined the experience, but ultimately it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, well, I think I'm gonna end the live stream here for a second. And I think 20 minutes is a good time to end it. I think last time we ended it at 40 minutes, but I think 20 minutes is pretty good today. So actually, let me just kind of start. I can start writing a few notes here while I'm just sitting here. Let the live stream run. Just kind of look at it every once in a while and see if anyone's engaging in the live stream. So I feel like maybe the next part should. I kind of want to talk about this part for a second. Is actually the next part staying positive. I feel like this is super super important because I feel like I've carried this energy around with me all day at work. Now I know it's kind of difficult for some people. Different jobs make it harder to stay positive. I know that because I used to work at a job I really didn't like, but I still stayed positive. And here's kind of how I stayed positive. Is the first piece was I would always go and talk to customers. I'll talk to customers and I'll be as nice as possible, joke around, I'll compliment something. So when I saw a customer coming, I'll be like, okay, what can I compliment about this customer, right? Kind of have like a preset. This is what I want to say about them, right? And so I would kind of look down, look at their shoes, man, your shoes are so cool. And that's all it takes to really make someone's day. It, trust me, it is. Because when I would work, that's all I would say. Man, your shoes are so cool. And say, oh, you like them? I didn't really like them, but someone got them for me for Christmas, and that was a few years ago. And yeah, I've been living here for or something. All you had to say is, "Man, your shoes are so nice," and it turns into a conversation. So, the things I didn't like about my job immediately started to turn around. And I started to really like these things about my job as I started making these jokes and staying positive with this person. So, yeah, it really makes a difference in the end. And so that was the one thing is I always found a way to joke with the customers. I do that at my job now too. Is as a cook, you can always find a joke to make. There's always something. Um, Yo, what's up? How's it going? There's always something you can say to make someone's day, and just carrying around the attitude. When people ask me, "How are you doing today?" I always reply with, "Oh man, I am doing awesome today. My day is great. My day is amazing." Because it is. Every single day I can learn something new. Every single day I can do something different. Every single time I can make someone else's day, my day is great, right? If I can focus on life, focus on the I can see the bad stuff, but focus on all the good stuff in life. Why would I want to tell them I have a bad day today, right? If I want to be honest, but every single day for me feels like a great day, even if I don't get certain stuff accomplished. Just the fact that I'm still alive, I'm still breathing, I can still do things that other people cannot, things that I'm taking advantage of. Some people can't, to this day, are still in the hospital and can't walk around. They're that sick. But I'm taking advantage of this. Well, okay, that sounded really bad, actually. But I can. Let me actually think of how I want to word this so I don't actually sound like a criminal. You said facts. Yeah, I'm trying to word this differently so I don't sound like an absolute criminal for this. But I want to recognize that I realize if I said it differently, it would sound like I'm gonna take advantage of these people that can't walk or something. Like that's not at all what I'm saying. I don't even know why I said that ultimately. I just gotta think of a way to get out of it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna say now. But anyways, you can see these other people in a situation and you can decide that you're doing great. These people are probably having a worse day than you, right? And so, well, I don't know if I agree with that, but anyways, so I always walk around with the attitude of my day is always great. I want to always focus on having a good day. He said, "Don't get canceled." That would be a great side quest. I think I might. I think I might try to not get canceled. Uh, that would be pretty funny. I was just thinking, like, as I was saying that sentence, I was like, "This sounds really, really stupid," and people are gonna think I am just like, yeah. I was like, people are just gonna think I'm stupid if I say this. Like, I'm gonna take advantage of all the people in the hospital. Like, no, that's not. It's not what I'm saying. Uh, yeah, no, that's hilarious. Uh, but yeah, it's ultimately just the attitude you carry around. When someone comes up to you, "How are you today?" Be kind of loud and be like, "Man, my day is great." You know, you don't have to like be super loud, but the more quiet you are, and all your if someone says, "Hey, what do you want today?" "Oh, I don't know, I want some food." And "How's your day?" "Oh, my day is doing all right." But if you say, "Man, my day's doing great," which one are you more likely to respond positively with? "Oh, my day's doing pretty good." Or say, "Oh, today's Saturday. Pretty good." And today's not actually Saturday. Today's Sunday. But anyways, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Or you say, "Man, I am doing great. I love today, man. Every single day is great. Yesterday was great. Today's better than yesterday, and tomorrow's probably gonna be even better than today." That's always what I respond with. Is those few things. It's easy, really, really easy to make someone like really want to engage with you when you respond like that. Is Oh, thank you. About the RC trucks, what you're talking about. Thanks. I got this one right here too. You guys, I don't know if you can see this one, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, so really, really easy for people to want to engage with you when you respond like that. Like, kind of loud but really positive. My day is amazing, and there's always just always start making jokes. Like, there's always ways to joke around. Doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in. There's always something you can say to make people laugh. And um, I tried. There's certain things you can do that will make people laugh, and there's certain things you can do that will really embarrass you. And this is one of the things I did. Well, it didn't really embarrass. Anyways, I'll explain it. So there was a table of four people, and they were all sitting at the table eating. And as soon as I walked in, um, I did cut my hair, actually. Yes, you're right. As soon as I walked in, anyways, I went and looked at the. You got the motivational speaker out. Anyways, walked in to work. I clocked in, and I turned around and I saw this big group of people sitting here. And I was like, all right, I want to go make this group laugh. Like, I just got on my shift. I'm going to go make them laugh, right? Make their day. I'm going to make my day. So I actually kind of walked over, and before I got to our table, I went and kind of switched my shoes around. So this is a really key piece of the story, because you'll understand why in just a second. And so, I put my shoes on my opposite feet. It's kind of a funny thing. And I went over to the table, and I was like, "Man, I gotta ask your guys' opinion. What do you think? Do you like my shoes?" Uh, yeah, the joke kind of backfired a little bit, because they were just like, "Oh, they're on the wrong feet." Like, they did not understand it was a joke, like, in the least. Like, there was nothing about it that was like, "Oh, that's funny." There's no laughs, nothing. They were just like, "Oh, it's on the right feet," and they kind of looked at me like, "Are you crazy?" Like, no, no, I'm just trying to make a good joke here. But in the end, I walked away from it laughing, because I knew that it was really funny for me to see their reaction. And I was like, okay, if I didn't make their day, at least I made my own day by doing this. It's just, it's pretty funny the way you can do that. But yeah, anyways, I walked into the kitchen, and I was joking with my boss, and we were both just laughing so hard about it. Like, it was pretty hilarious. Yeah, that's one of the things that you kind of carry the attitude around, always wanting to joke, always wanting to be friendly and laugh. That's kind of the attitude people love. Is if I hopped on this live stream and just kind of started talking like this. "What's up, guys? Welcome to live stream." Right? No one's going to want to watch it, because I'm already kind of giving the attitude that I don't really care. I don't really want to be here. I'm only here for, what, subscribers, the likes, what, right? But if I'm over here really engaging, like, man, welcome to the live stream. I'm really excited to be here. We're gonna talk about this. Kind of gives you guys a different incentive to watch. You guys aren't like, oh, this person like really doesn't know what they're doing. They just started. They're kind of nervous in front of the camera. I'm actually showing you guys something that's like, you guys can notice my personality in the whole live streams and everything. Super important. But anyways, that being said, now I talked about a little bit of being observant as well as um, staying positive for customers, other coworkers, bosses, everything. It's so important. I would say it's the number one piece of work ethic when you're working is to always stay positive and be loud and funny at the exact same time. The more quiet you are, the less funny you are, honestly, most of the time. So yeah, even if you tell a joke, but you tell it with such low confidence, or you tell a joke but you're really quiet, it's not gonna come out the same way as if you tell it loud and funny, right? And so, yeah, no, staying positive is the one piece in the whole thing, the one major piece to it. If you can stay positive in your work environment, you can conquer anything. Just stay as positive as possible and start loving your job. Um, that's the one piece that makes me want to keep coming back to my job every day. Is yeah, no kidding. That's the one piece that's going to be the best is when you I always want to go back to my work because I always know I'm ready to go back to work and make a new joke or laugh or because I always know it's always crazy at work. It's always fun at work. There's never a time I'm like, oh, I hate work. I've been a dishwasher at work for a year. And that being a dishwasher is not one of the best jobs. It's not a super fun job, let me just say. But when you carry around the attitude of I want to just have fun today, obviously you want to have fun and get stuff done. When you carry around the attitude of I want to have fun, it makes washing dishes, a task like washing dishes, so much easier. And so when I first started working, I started washing dishes, and then after maybe 2 months, I was already cooking. I was already on cooking. And so right now, I'm a cook, I'm a dishwasher, I can be a waiter. I've been there for a year. I can do whatever, right? I know the whole thing. And so, part of the reason I've been there for a year, I don't think there's any dishwasher that stayed there for more than a year, is because I've been there for a year because I really, really care about the work environment. I've seen things in the work environment that no one else has seen. I've seen things. So here's where it comes back to being observant. Because when I observe all of this, I look at the restaurant itself. I look at my boss and say, there is no one else in the world that will be this friendly, that will have this kind of environment. No one else in the world. I say that because as soon as I came in, he was saying, all right, here's how much I pay. You get any meal you want. If you want sodas, if you want meals, you get all of them for free. Don't ask me, just get a meal. Okay? Yeah, you asked if I plan out a topic for my streams. Normally I do. Right now, actually have not planned out a topic for my streams. I'm just kind of going by the flow, which is not a great thing to do, but I didn't have a lot of time today, so I just hopped into it. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes you get really good results from just hopping into a stream instead of. But yeah, no, normally I do plan my streams. Normally I have something, I plan this topic, I kind of give a few examples, and I kind of talk about what you guys can change, right? And so yeah, normally plan out my live streams, so. Yeah, I would say if anyone's going into this wanting to plan a live stream, it would be really important to actually plan out your topics, especially your first few live streams. Plan them out, write something down to talk about, because your first few live streams you're going to be in front of the camera like this, waiting for someone to ask something or say something, and it's a place you never really want to be in. I used to do that in my live streams, just kind of wait around and just look up the live chat. Okay, someone asked me a question. Now I can answer. And so that was part of the problem is I was doing that, focusing on the person there, what they were asking, instead of actually talking about what I love to talk about. And so now I can focus on, even when there's nothing to think, nothing to talk about ultimately in my mind, I can always make something up really fast on the spot. So right now, if I'm kind of like, I've already talked about being observant, I talked about positivity. What else can I talk about? I can make a joke, right? I can tell a funny story. I can engage even more with the audience. There's always something you can do to keep talking and instead of keep it boring, right? There's always something more you can do. Um, yeah, going back for a second into being observant, is I observed that my boss was that kind of guy. He really had great work ethic. He really cared about his employees. So this is how it goes. He actually told me that in a restaurant, it doesn't matter restaurant anywhere. It's more important to care about your employees first. Any job, your employees always should come first, and your customers should always come second. If your employees are happy, they're not going to make your customers happy. Wait, what did I just say? I said if your employees aren't happy, they're not going to make your customers happy. I think I might have said if your employees are happy. Maybe. Anyways, that was the point. I got the point across now. So, yeah, just kind of observing and saying he really, really cares about us. He says, if you want a shift meal, it's all yours. Have as many as you want. Any food you want. Any drink you want, it's there for you too. You can have it. You don't have to ask. Just take it. And so when I started learning this, I started kind of learning about other restaurants in our area. I don't even work at all the restaurants in our area, but I've learned something about all these restaurants, and all these restaurants have one thing in common. They only give you one shift meal per shift. One. That's it. Only one. And my boss said you can have as many as you want, just don't waste food. That's something that really shows you how much he cares about his employees. Really cares about his employees. And everything he does ultimately, as far as training, when he trained me, he took a whole day to train me. When I walked into a different job, a different restaurant, I was only trained for maybe 15 minutes. I didn't really understand what to do. When I went to this job that I'm at currently, he trained me for a whole day. That really shows how much they care about you. This is how you need to start observing things. I feel like every person that's come into the restaurant, start working there, has only worked there for maybe 2 years or less. Why is that? It's because they never saw the value in that restaurant that I see now. They never saw the value in that restaurant as I see in my boss. They don't see that value. I do. I've noticed that value. And it's very, very important to start noticing these stuff. And when my mind, I was actually thinking about when I'm ready to move out where I want to move to. And I've been thinking about this, and I was thinking I want to move somewhere else immediately, like kind of get out of this place I'm at. But then I was like, actually, this is a one-of-a-kind area. This restaurant is a one-of-a-kind place. You will never find a place like this. If I move out now and leave this business behind, I will never be able to get it back. Something so valuable, I'll never be able to get it back. I've learned so much more at this job that I'm at currently than I have anywhere else. It's crazy, but it's really, really important to observe these kind of things. I've observed these kind of things that people never would have observed, never would have seen, and they don't. They come into the business, they focus on the money, not the people there. They focus on the money, they realize, okay, I'm not getting enough money, move on to a different job. I'm getting enough money, and I'm forgetting about the money, to be honest. Like, when I go into work, I forget about the money. I forget about the paycheck. Because I'm having such a fun time, talking, chatting with someone, making a joke, getting stuff done, that I'm not thinking about the paycheck. It's all about the work, not the money, for me. And it's super, super important. That's why no one else sees the value in it, because they're always focused on the money. So, that being said, we're coming up on 40 minutes here. I think I'm going to end the live stream now, but I did want to say real quick that I do have a huge subscriber goal. I have a 500 subscriber goal by February 2nd, and I would love if you guys would subscribe to help me get there. I'd really appreciate it. And that being said, I'm going to end the live stream here, but really thank you guys all for watching the stream, and I will see you guys all later for the next stream. Bye bye.